y'all. This is Marriage Boot Camp, Season 2, Episode 10, Proposal or Disposal. Ooh. So this is the last episode in the boot camp experience. I guess next week we have a reunion. I will see if I'm going to actually recap that. It kind of just depends on if there's anything for me really to say. Buddy. Okay, so we come in right at the end of their boys and girls night out. Julian comes in. Blanca, I guess, throws something at him, and he flips out and flips over this huge marble table. The marble cracks. It's a big mess. And Sean comes in and just loses his mind. Now, I want to talk about this. I mentioned it some last week, but Mark, Jeff, and Thomas kind of had this normal experience. Like, they went out and they were like, oh, hey, maybe there's some girls, but they're not really interested. They had some drinks, but in general, they were sort of like, this is what we're supposed to do. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. And they're pretty focused on their marriage. Now, Julian was pretty upset because of the accusation that Blanca might have cheated. And so he's drinking hard. I have no idea what Sean was doing. Sean was drinking like he was being paid to do it. He's touching women. He's doing lap dances because I don't know. I don't know what he was doing and why he was so worked up. So he comes back in and Sophia's like, you drank too much. And he just loses his mind. And he's fighting with everyone. He ends up breaking her foot. It was ridiculous. A couple things I want to point out. Sophia was not 100% in the right. Okay? She definitely wasn't helping the situation. But there is no justification for why she should have gotten hurt. I'm not saying at all that because she wasn't 100% right, she deserved to get hurt. Separate issue. She's not 100% perfect, but Sean was out of control. He was fighting with everyone. He was fighting with the entire production. And I guarantee you, all those people that you saw that you'd never seen before that show up, those are all production people. You saw camera people, all of that. That was not scripted. I can guarantee it. I would bet huge amounts of money that everything that you saw went down exactly as you saw, because there's no reason why production wants to be on camera. That's not the goal of the show. All those camera people, their job is to get the shot without being in someone else's shot. And they're phenomenally good at it. So when you suddenly see a camera person hugging a wall, that's because there was no other option. They couldn't have edited out that footage because it would make no sense to the viewer. How did she break her foot? Well, because he was flipping her all over the place, and I don't know who all those people were. I assume several were PAs, production assistants. There were several camera people. It looked like there were some higher up, some people in suits that probably represent the network. I don't really know because I haven't worked on their set, but I guarantee they weren't planning on being on camera and they were not happy about being on camera. Anyway, I didn't enjoy any of it. I didn't enjoy the fight. I didn't find it fascinating. I wanted them off my screen and I was done. The reason I say that is that if I want to watch fighting, I'll watch an MMA competition where everyone in the ring was there by choice. The camera guy didn't want to get hit. The director or whoever it was doesn't want to get hit. These people don't want to be in the middle of a fight. They just want to film their show and do their job. Okay? So I'm not impressed with him. I don't want him on my screen. I don't want Sophia. I don't know what they're doing. I felt like there were 4 couples who were there for a genuine experience. Sure, they wouldn't mind maybe having their agent get some more bookings, but they were more or less telling the truth. Sean and Sophia were there with an agenda to become famous, and I feel like everything they did on camera was to promote that agenda. So I don't want anything to do with them. Sophia ended up going to the hospital. She broke her foot when he was flipping her all over the place. Final evaluation, no drinking for Sean. Blanca's selfish. As a couple, they need to avoid triggers. Tosh and Jeff have improvement, but is it too little too late? Gloria and Mark, their walls are still up. Maylee and Thomas, they're working on issues, but is it going to happen? We have a quick one-on-one with Sean and Sophia. I don't know. I'm not really that interested. Now we go to the ring ceremony. This is where the couples will either show a ring or divorce papers, and they'll find out whether or not they're planning on staying together. We do find out that Julian backed out on a wedding once before. So we start off with Blanca and Julian. They both give each other rings. Yay! Mark and Gloria. Mark gives Gloria a ring, and Gloria gives Mark nothing. And then Mark's like, okay, well, I'm going. And he packs up his stuff and leaves. And Gloria's like, well, I'm doing this for the best of our relationship. I found that really confusing because when I listened to what she said and then she didn't give a ring, I thought she wanted a divorce. Clearly, Mark also thought she wanted a divorce. I thought that was pretty clear. And then afterwards, she's like, well, this is for the good of our relationship. And I kind of felt like, maybe you should have been more clear about that before on national TV. You didn't give your husband a ring stating that you wanted to get divorced, more or less. She's like, well, he doesn't want to talk. And I'm like, well, I thought from watching it that she wanted a divorce, so I can understand why he doesn't want to talk. So that was kind of confusing to me, what she was trying to communicate to Mark, because I don't know. I don't really know. Based on her interview, which Mark wouldn't have heard, it sounds like she meant something different than what happened. Maylee and Thomas, rings. Tasha and Jeff, rings. And then Sophia gives, it's like the last 20 minutes are just Sean and Sophia. Sophia gives him a long speech, and then she opens up her box and there's a long note, and he reads it out loud, and there's lots of crying, and they're going to stay together. But I already knew that because from the beginning of the episode, he was tweeting to Elizabeth and other people that this saved his marriage and his life. Way to give away the ending, dude. I was actually going to see what was happening. But I already knew, so I just pretty much fast forwarded through. So anyway, I guess next week is where we get to see everyone, find out if they're still together, see what happens, and I will see you then.